Welcome back, fellow fishing fanatics. I'm Michigan Troller, and today I have another setup video for you. I have my ATV all rigged up for ice fishing, and I figured I'd show you how I have it all set up. I've done a couple things special with the front box that not too many people have out there, so I figured I'd show you how it's all rigged up. My ATV is a Polaris Sportsman touring, so it's a 2-up. It's a 550 four-wheel drive. The year is 2014 on it, and that's kind of one of the big things I wanted for this ATV. There's a couple reasons. One of them is this box here is removable, so I can take that on and off. Some of the models aren't like that, and I wanted one specifically like that. That way I could tie this aluminum frame to that box, and then the box gets tied to the ATV. I wanted that so in the springtime, summer, I can pull that off. I can pull the back monster box off and be just down to my ATV. How I have it set up is this in here has a support bar that goes through it. So I drilled through this box and I made my 80/20 aluminum frame, and I have a sheet of aluminum underneath that. See one of them. I have it drilled through and flat headed, and it connects into this one. If you want to see how it's set up, I have another one of my electrical box, so you can see the inside of there. I'm not going to flip this one open and show you, just because all my stuff's in there. It takes a little bit, but if you'd like to see that and see how this is all wired up inside, you can go check out that video. But with this one, it's the cigarette lighter, and then I have a USB-C. Turns on, it tells you how much your power is at for the battery, so I can plug in any of the GoPros, phones, anything like that. I have 2 on this side, and then the same exact 2 on that side. Then these are all my light switches for my back, and then these ones are for my front. So all of those and these, I can go through and show you at nighttime what it looks like all lit up. But those are all individual switches. Generally when you buy these sets, they're all wired into a relay, and you got one switch that'll turn them on. I didn't like that. I wanted to break them all off individually, so I could turn on specific one if I just want that one turned on. I can get on, this one's on ram mount, so I can turn it all around, be able to fish close to the ATV and light up my holes and everything right here, and not have to have all of them on. Just lock that back down and good to go. I have a battery in this box. Everything that's wired up with lights or electricity like that's going to this battery in here. I have the leads coming out from that battery to go up to this front box, and then this one here is all the wires coming back to be able to supply to these lights as well. If you want to see that all in detail, go check out that other video. Up to here, this is all 80/20, so I went through and did a bunch of this. I'm a tool and die maker, so I have access to mills and lathes, so I did a lot of this at work and got it all drilled, counterbored, and then used stainless steel bolts to put everything together. The whole frame is out of 80/20. The extruded aluminum, and then I have up on here is a Trax mount with the Larmac, so my arc lab can sit on that and swivel. So while I'm driving, I can have this sitting right like that. This is up on up on my ATV, what I see, you got to look through the fishing poles, but it's not bad. I can easily do it. See where your maps are going out. This one here I have more for hole hopping, but I can go to the maps as well and follow close or far or whatever. Have it zoomed in, and that one zoomed out. But I wanted this on the Larmac, that way I could swivel that, come right here, grab my, pop these open. It's a little bit easier with two hands. That comes out, pop my hole right here, scan around, see if there's anything here. If there is, go ahead and fish it. If not, put it right back on. These clamp down, my cord can get into there, and that'll clamp right down on it so it don't go nowhere. Pretty nice setup. I like these Kolpin mounts. We'll see how they work. I have the Otter pull holders. That way, if I want to have another one, if I'm jigging, say I have this one here, I'm jigging this hole. If we're fishing for crappies, perch, they generally will school up, so I can have 3 rods down. So I outfitted actually both sides. So if I want to fish close that day to the ATV, just get these out like that. Throw a couple. Try and do it with one hand. Throw a couple in there, and then I can move it wherever I'd like. Spread out the hole as far as possible. And these are bait feeder reels. Just clip that, set that right down the hole, and I'll be able to hear that drag going on from the other side. Put that hook back up. So I keep the fish close. If they're on the move, generally you can only get 1, maybe 2 out of the school. This way I could have a bunch of rods down and drop them down as fast as possible and jump around through them. And then just tucks right back in, tighten it down, pop out my rod, put it back in my rod holder, and away I go. These I can pop out and throw in my flip over shanty as well. I have the actual mount that comes with it. I made this one, and pop it out, throw it in there, and good to go. These are just PVC pipe. I went through and got an end mill, cut those out, put a little bit of a chamfer on there, and then spray painted it black so it'll look a little bit nicer and go with the theme of the ATV, black and blue. All those, I have all 8 of them up there. I wanted them facing towards me. I know a lot of people will have them back on these back boxes and everything. I figured if I have them up here, I'll be able to see them. You got a lot of money in rods and reels. I don't want them bouncing out, not knowing about it. So have them up there, that way I'll be able to see them, as well as I figured the snow shouldn't be as bad. If you have them in the back, I know snow will be able to kick up a lot of snow and everything, cover the reels. I was hoping to get away from getting them completely covered. The box is plexiglass. Have some clam predators throw out for the dead sticks if we're trying to get a bunch of area covered. My regular, all my jigs and spoons, jigging wraps. That one has all my drinks. The battery is underneath this box. So I have to remove this entire box to be able to get down to it. So I came up with a different route. I have a power box, a jumper, and got these jumper cables off of Amazon and ran it down underneath to my battery. That way if this does die, I have the other part and the other one in the back box that I can connect right up to this and then jump it, so I don't have to tear that whole box off just to get to the battery. The quad is only running off that battery. Everything else, all these lights, these ports, like I said, are running back to that battery. I think that should be. I have this here. I generally will throw a bungee strap from this over top of it. That holds it. It sits in there pretty dang good. I can ride around actually with no strap on it, but if I'm going long hauls and everything, I'll put a bungee in there. Otherwise I can pull that right off and put it right back in. These are my auger mounts. Actually, I forgot to grab my auger and throw it on there so you can see it. Actually, I might go do that right now. Let's go, be right back. There, that's what it should look like. K-drill on there. Milwaukee fuel. I like these Kolpin mounts. They're nice, solid, rigid. That's not going anywhere. I know there's the ice diggers and there's a whole bunch of auger mounts out there, but I like this one specifically. That way I could catch my drill, have that locked into there, and then catch the auger back there. I like that setup pretty nice. Now we can go back to the otter box. That's pretty much what you see a lot of people have for their back box. They're so nice. For the price, they're a little bit expensive, but buy once, cry once, and they're worth their weight in gold. Having all the mountability, you can take these off. These are the bucket accessories. They have the auger accessories, the rod lockers. You can do a bunch of stuff with those. So I went with the otter box instead of trying to make like how I did my front box. Went with one of these and was able to get some lights on there and kind of trick it out the way I want. I'm going to do some more stuff to it probably. I'm going to put some rails up on here that can have the T-slots, be able to put 80/20 pieces into there so I could mount stuff on top of there, GoPros, more lights, what have you. But I'm thinking about doing that route for that. Have the flat box, fits up there nice, plenty of room to slide over, and I can put actually my big Rapala bag up there, my tackle bag. That'll fit in there as well. I don't normally need that much tackle, but it's always the possibility. So these have a lot of room that you can throw stuff in. This right here, I have my camera bag with all the GoPros and stuff inside it. Then I have that's the battery. I have a circuit breaker hooked up to that. Ran up into there. That's what powering all these lights and the power box up front. This is the thing I need for jumping the battery if it ever dies. Plug this right into the one up here. Pop that out. That plugs into there. And then I have those two leads. Pretty much put the jumpers right onto them and it'll jump it. This is the extra batteries for the augers, the Milwaukee batteries. A lot of people will use these coolers and throw the hand warmers inside of there. That way they won't croak. I'll fill them up with all my batteries. Bring out hole hopping if I have multiple people and everything going. I'll bring that out there so we can have multiple graphs, and it's always nice to have another one just in case one was to die. I have the Milwaukee light back there. It's nice to have out. Like, you can put so much stuff in here. It all depends on what you're going out for that day, what you're trying to do. Load this thing up with as much stuff or little as you want. I have the foam. Actually, I did a little video before I have all this stuff in there to show you how this is on, but this is just the regular foam mats. I'll put that little clip it in after we get done going through this whole box. Tools and everything that I need for fixing or doing anything with these boxes, taking the plastic apart, that's all what I have in there. This is the most important thing for ATV being out on the ice. This is your get out of jail free card. If you get stuck in slush, I have a winch up front. Go out 50 feet or so, drill a hole, grab that strap, put it down through. This is hooked up to your winch, so you hold that strap, put it down through upright, and then that grabs to your winch. That goes up underneath the ice, and it'll grip onto it, and then you pull yourself out of the bad spot. So any kind of person that has an ATV, that's a must-have. I know there's, I think was it Arctic Anchor has one, I believe, like it, but it's almost 3 times as much as this Arc Labs. I think they want 150. This is like 60 bucks, I think. So that is a must-have. But yeah, that's kind of what I have in here. Like I said, if I'm going out ice camping, I can load this up with a lot more stuff. If I'm just going out for the day, obviously I don't need as much stuff. If I'm going out by myself, I don't even need a fraction of the stuff. So it's pretty much however you want to load it up with what you got going on for the day. The wire coming into here, that one's, actually I'll take this back out of there. Wire's coming up, and these are all going up to that front one up over in there for the one light. This one kind of just have it taped up and coiled, and then the same with the front one up in there. I tried to get it as nice in there like this, easily disconnect it. I can pop those lights off right here, both of those, and put them on my sled I pull by hand, and I have a little battery box that those are hooked up to. So if I'm not, I mean, we don't get a lot of ice around here, so nowadays at least, so trying to use as much stuff for as many different things as possible so you can get your use out of it. So I just pop those out of there, throw it on the sled, and then I'm good to go. Drilled some holes into it. It's roto molded, so it's pretty sturdy, good plastic. You can drill, screw things into this, mount all sorts of stuff, whatever you want. So I got the rubber grommets, drilled a hole through it and put them in, and mounted the plates for the ram mounts. This one shined down at the shanty, my pull behind if I'm pulling it, that way I can see, or if I'm just out there trying to light everything up and see all the tip ups or go across the ice, see as the best as possible. These lights really shine quite a bit. It's nice being able to see all the way out there with them, not be worried about going into a big crack. Tip ups, throw your bucket holder in there. I know people will cut these down and do them for your live scopes or your shuttles, whatever your fish finders are. I'm using them more for the buckets just because I have all the spots for my fish finders right now. But you can pretty much, whatever you can think of. So I emptied out everything in the box to show you how I have it mounted. I went out and got these GripPRO fits. They're for the Polaris ATV. You can use them in the razors or the quads, any of them that have that the hole diameter that goes all around it. My rack on the back of here has holes all through it. I believe I have some pictures I can pull up and put in to show you guys what it looks like with the box off. I took that whole rack system that was onto there on the back of this and pulled it off and put it onto my box when I was laying it out to get my right holes all lined up to get my template on it. It just it bolts right onto there, so it's pretty nice. That's why I like this particular year class of Sportsman. So pop that off of there. I got the template, laid it onto here, drilled the holes, and then I put it back on. And it comes with the U-bolts to be able to clamp these boxes on, and it probably would have worked all right, but I seen these and I like them. They're a compression fitting. You go through, when I have this off, I put them in all 6 of these holes that's on the ATV, and those sit up just like that. And then I have my wife help me. It's a lot easier with 2 people. You could do it with 1, but it's a lot easier with 2. You get this box and you set it straight down over top of them, and then this is how they come with the little hand knob. But I went with nuts and washers, and then I made my own foam pad out of the floor mats that everybody uses for your floors and in the hubs and the gym mats, all those, and I cut up a couple of them to fit inside of here. Again, same thing, I had it before I attached it onto there, laid it, flipped it over, traced it out, then cut it and made it fit inside here. I can actually grab them and show you. I have that so it hides all these bolts and nuts, so when you're putting stuff into there, you're not scratching the bottom of it. And then also it's nice to have in there for a little bit extra padding. I just cut it all out, my wires for my lights and everything, and that sits in there nice like that. And then my battery sits over there, then all the other stuff, how you see and how I have it all laid out. Gorilla tape is what I use for all of that, but it pretty much lays flat right over it, so that's nice. And then I didn't have any of the bolts or anything down here, so I didn't want it to go all the way across, so you get a little bit more clearance, get that extra ½ inch. But that's how I have it attached to the back of my ATV, and how I found that I like it. It's on there pretty dang good. Like, it's not going anywhere. I can move it all around. I've drove with it plenty. It's pretty nice. So I like this route. Nice quick on and off for the springtime and winter time. Well, that's how I have it secured. All right, I'm back out here now. It's dark out. Show you how bright these lights are. This one here is my Milwaukee light. I'll shut it off so you can see it's pitch black out here. So I'll show you, if you're cruising out on the ice, that's the ATV light right there. That's all that you'd be able to see. I do have the high beams that you could use, but it shines through the box, so it shines back more on me than actually outwards and useful. So those are regular ATV lights. Now that's just the front light. That right there shut the ATV light off. You can't even really tell that's on off, maybe just a little bit. Go to the front. So that's the front one. Now I'll go through and I'll turn all of them on so you can see left, right. That's the back right one. That's the very back. That's the left one. How much light there is all the way around it. Up front is my big thing for obviously driving out at night. That's one of my biggest worries. Don't want to go through, obviously. Well, that's it all lit up. Like a stadium out here. I like that back one, being able to get this all around when I have my shanty hooked up or all the sleds going back, being able to see everything. And then, like I was saying with the, I'll shut those ones off. So this one here on the Ram, that's what I was thinking more, while nighttime, pretty much have that shining at the light, or at the hole, light up this spot right here. Or I can always use the Milwaukee light. That's pretty nice and lights up a good chunk too. Set it right up on top. That way it's not right on the ice spooking the fish. I'll have to see. I haven't tried these yet, so I don't know what will work best. Obviously driving out on the ice, I'll have it pretty much all lit up. Maybe not the back one, so I'm not blinding people, but I will for sure have the side ones and the front one on, just because of how much I can see. And then I forgot to show on the inside of my box, I have this little strip light that I got from Amazon. That's actually pretty nice and lights it up pretty good in there. It's velcroed up into there, so I could pop this out if I wanted to, but I have two of them. I'm going to see how well they do. They're rechargeable. See how well I like them. So far they're pretty. It also has 5 dimmable settings. But yeah, right. Put this back up here. Turn these guys off. If you guys like the video, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. These are just my setup videos. I'm gonna go through and get all my stuff set up and show you guys, and hopefully we'll get ice here. We have a cold the next 2 days, and then thereon after I believe it's supposed to get real cold, so hopefully we'll make some ice and get you some actual ice fishing videos and show this stuff in use, not just how I have it set up. So if you guys like it, stay tuned and we'll try to get some more for you. You guys have a good one.